The offer. I finally installed a recorder in wife's car. I got all I needed in one day plus something I wish I never heard. She said she was ashamed to be seen in public with her and she would walk several feet away, married 25 years next month. I am officially ill now. I have called and canceled the rest of my chemo and radiation. I now officially don't care anymore. I am done when she leaves. I lose all heat insurance. And home. I have realized what has been heard cannot be unheard. I always thought I was a real level-headed guy who could shake off anything. I did not hear them doing the deed, it was her putting me down like I am slime. I know I am a good person that treats everybody with respect. It gets even stranger. 3 years after we married, my brother married her little sister. After 10 years she started fooling around. She was always a wild child and so was my brother. My little brother a tree at high speed. It was ruled an accident, but he always said if he was to do would be that way. He burned up. Anyways, back to problems at hand. My treatments are a 4-hour drive away and I can't drive home. I am just tired of hurting mentally and physically. Several years ago, I was in a back car wreck that broke my back and shattered my pelvis. I hate this has become a woe is me story. On some days she can be an angel. It wasn't until I heard the recording of her talking to her older sister that her true feelings about my thinning hair, big nose came out. I think she is staying out of guilt. We have 2 kids, 11 to 14 too. I just want them to be taken care of. My term life insurance expires in 2 years and it is enough to put them through a good college. After 2 years it will be very hard to get life insurance. I work for a nice company that lets me work around my schedule and some people are donating their hours to me. I can't work enough hours to get insurance and my wife has a very good job with great insurance. That is why I am still around. I know a lot of people here are hurting like I am and my story is just another brick in the wall. Well, I have non-small cell carcinoma. I can't take how she flaunts her affair to me. She knows I am too weak and sick and dependent on her for insurance. She has bought sheer lingerie and leaves it hanging around. This is not the person I married almost 25 years ago. I know, see how people I read in the newspapers snap and do something dumb. I think I could handle her crap and somebody better than her saying personal derogatory things about me. We never had a major fight our entire marriage. I can't stress enough, if you use a voice recorder, get a trusted friend to listen to it first. She may say some things you do not need to hear. Trust me, I wish I never would have bought one and my life is forever ruined. There is no going back. You can't put the genie back in the bottle. I am about at the point that I don't care anymore. The OM is her supervisor. They have a safety meeting 2 hours away in 2 weeks. She will drive. I have recordings already converted to MP3. I am staying quiet until after their trip so I can have his voice recorded. The work for the city and I will send it to the council. I know how people snap and do stupid crap. I am not going to, but when I read about, I will have sympathy now. I went to the cancer center today to resume treatment. I was informed my insurance has been canceled and I would have to pay cash. My wife dropped me off her insurance and they turned me away. So much for how much they care commercials. I may get a lawyer, but that will take months to get anything done. I never did anything wrong to her. She just found somebody else that is rich. How can somebody grow so cold? I thought Obama would fix this. I am a walking dead man. The cancer places only care about money. They pretty much told me to take a hike. If I was an ex-immigrant I would be saved. But you know what, I don't care anymore. 1 year ago, I was a happy man living with the woman I loved and had a great job and 2 kids. All it took was one woman that fell in love with another man to ex me. It is time to sign off. It is hard to decide what to do. I decided to go to chemotherapy and they turned me away. My insurance has been canceled. How can they do that? If I was an illegal I would get treatment. I didn't have the $35 cash, so the receptionist said sorry. I swear I have never raised my voice in anger to her or abused her in any way. I am guilty of becoming complacent. Next month is our 25th anniversary. I guess I am guilty of being boring. I have put my truck up for sale, but that may pay for 2 treatments. I think I have decided to go see the Grand Canyon and Redwood Forest instead. 2 years ago, I thought I was the luckiest man alive. I know I will never give my heart to another woman. I have always treated them with respect and kindness. Maybe I need to be a jerk and treat them like crap. That seems to be what most want. Oh well, another night up till dawn. All the lawyers want money up front. It also seems like she went around and bought an hour's time with several. And that can't see me, they say. I had finally had as much as a man could take. Yes, I exposed it and it took some doing. I am not sure if what I did was legal or not, but I found he had a Facebook page, but my wife never had Facebook. I made an account under my wife's name one night and sent him a friend request. 5 minutes later he accepted. I was in. Now his friends and family showed up where before everything before was private. I sent a message to his wife and then posted everything on his wall at 3 a.m. The stinky stuff hit the fan the next day and I received a friend request from his wife. I can't believe this is my life and not some nightmare. I am a stage 4 cancer and I wished she would have at least pretended to love me for another few months to a couple of years. I knew something was going on, but I just refused to live in the real world I was in. She is not remorseful, she is just pissed his wife and everybody at her work knows. I have just reached the point that I don't care anymore. I am still starting my treatments next week anyway. Thanks for support. Edit: I deleted the Facebook account under my wife's name later in the day and sent him a friend request under my name. I am still waiting, but I expect he will refuse. I have an appointment to see him next Tuesday under another name. This will be my first face-to-face with the OM after months of being a baby. I am going nuclear. With voice recorders you will hear things you think are from another world. You will hear the real truth. You will hear things that you do not need to hear if you have a long life in front of you. You will hear things that will make you mad, make you cry, and make you want to leave the world. You will find the hard, brutal truth. The OM is my wife's direct supervisor. She works for a large county-owned agriculture co-op. It seems weird now that I have become the jerk. She has been acting much nicer. I know it is an act. I think she is scared she will lose her job she has had for 27 years. I am going to file a complaint with the county later on. Now I am going to try to listen to others and work on my health. If she gets fired, I will really lose my insurance. This is such a mess. I never would have thought the most important decisions I will ever have to make all revolve around stinking health insurance. The call that said I was no longer insured did come from a county phone, and it was a male. The girl in doctor's insurance just put a note on my file that said I was no longer covered by so-and-so, and I was told to show them a new insurance card. Somebody's head is going to be on the chopping block, but I asked them hold off for a little while if they could. I just need more time until new insurance law that allows pre-existing conditions. Until then I think I am stuck. If I was healthy I would have filed D last week. I had created a Facebook account under wife's name and sent OM friend request. He accepted, and where before only friends could see his friends and family. So, I posted everything on his wall. Bad idea, I know, but I had reached my breaking point. I still think it was OM that called, but they will not give me the number. I think he is upset that I told his wife. I may take the advice I have gotten here and chill for a while, at least until I can get some legal advice. I still like the idea of my scorched earth policy, but you guys may be right and it could backfire on me. I just want to do something that can make them hurt emotionally. I have gone through a lot of physical pain, but the emotional pain is much worse. Well, I had meeting with OM today. I just sat in front of him in his office there and he asked a few dumb fertilizer questions. I never said a word. I gave him my business card. It looked like he may have turned pale, maybe my imagination. After about 30 seconds he left and never came back. This was just a hello, I know you visit. No, I don't think he has seen me before. It was tough. I was tense inside. I wanted to reach across his desk and throttle him. I also destroyed the recorder. I have heard enough. You cannot unhear what you have heard. I have the file saved on a thumb drive. I can almost see how people can snap. But I know that I can keep a cool head. The last thing I want to do is come out looking like the bad guy, especially when the custody issue comes up. I didn't threaten him, but I hope I gave him a subtle message. The business card I gave him was one I made up and printed at home. It just had my name and occupation as father of 2 and married to be. For phone number I used his secret phone number and his address. But since the day after she has been home right on time and no 2-hour trips to store to get laundry detergent. I just need to keep the peace for a few months to a year and see how health issues come out. I am going to see my regular doctor this week because I think I have been having some anxiety attacks and get something for sleep. Thanks for the encouragement, it really helps. I told my wife I am not saying or going to do anything at all until after Christmas because I believe this is the last Christmas we will ever have as a family and I don't want to ruin it for the kids. They come first. It is still going to suck for me, but for the kids I will do anything. Man, my life sucks right now. I have talked to OM's wife several times. We are friends now, kind of. She has heard some of the recordings. They have 12-year-old twins and a 2-year-old. OM's wife has a very nice house and new car, SUV and things like that. She seemed real sheep, if that is the right word. I am beginning to think she will put up with anything to keep her social status. I feel sorry for her. She seems like a nice lady. She is also very pretty. How wouldn't that be something? Take off with each other and make our old spouses pay us. Probably not, but I have all kinds of revenge crap that goes to my brain all the time. 5 months ago, I was told I had a 40% chance to make it 2 years. Last week he upped it to about 50% if I keep doing same thing. He talked about possibly doing a thoracotomy lobectomy, but I would have to stop chemo so my immune system could recover some because of possible chance of infection after surgery. But if it is successful, he said 60% to 70% to make it 5 years or longer. He said those were just statics though. He said recovery after that king of surgery would be long and rough, especially if I am living by myself at the time. To my surprise, my wife said she wanted to put everything on hold a few months and help. I think the only reason she would do that is out of guilt. I have been thinking about just selling my truck and camper and hiring someone to help me out if I go surgery route and telling her to go to he double toothpicks. I want her to feel guilty at any cost. I am definitely putting the kids first right now. Spent last weekend putting Christmas decorations up around the house. The kids wanted those LED lights around the roof edge and we have a 2-story. Yikes. I just keep trying to detach so when I leave it won't be as hard, I hope. It is weird with the wife because the more I have detached from her and only talk to her in a business manner, the more she seems beaten down. She never goes out anymore or anything, but it is too little too late. I don't care what she does, I am done. It is hard to believe that 1 year ago today we were on our way to spend Christmas at Orlando. Not a care in the world. One later my life has been turned upside down, placed in a grinder with a big helping of crap and pureed. When I try to look forward into my future, I just see a black abyss. I am not seeing a counselor about the cancer right now. I know it may sound weird, but the cancer doesn't seem to bother me mentally. The thought of the love of my life betraying me and ripping my heart out just killed me inside. There is no room for any more pain or worry. I know I need to speak to someone about that. I just need to get past the idea that I don't care what happens to me anymore. I really thank you for your time and concern, and I will make an appointment after the holidays. My regular doctor told me I must care about myself on an unconscious level because I am still going for my treatments. Maybe I seemed weak, and that is why she started looking elsewhere. There is only so much a person can take before they break. Meanwhile, in other news, we had our company Christmas party today. Great food, and got a $1,000 bonus. We were told everybody was getting a 20% pay cut next year. Temporary, they say, because sales are down. I work in publishing, and we design and produce curriculum for churches and Sunday school classes. She has stopped her crap, but the damage is done. I think the put her on the road when he realized how ugly she is inside. I also think she doesn't want to be remembered as the lady who cheated on her ill hubby. That is my take on it anyway. I feel much better now that the last round of treatments is over for now. It feels good to have my appetite back because I love to cook. I recently took my camper out for a week to try to collect my thoughts, and I realized that I don't want to be alone at this time. I need the drama of the kids running around the house arguing over whose turn it is with the Xbox. I did something really dumb today. I was at a gas station filling up, and OM pulled up close to me and started pumping gas. He tried to ignore me, but the rage boiled to the top. I walked over and promptly slugged him, and finished filling up. I am sure it is on camera, and I am waiting on a knock on the door at this minute. It was like an out-of-body experience. I am not a violent person, so I don't know what came over me. I have a feeling things are fixing to be complicated. I just called a bail bondsman just in case. No sleep for me tonight. Right now, my hand is swollen like a grapefruit. How much worse can this get? What bothers me is I feel no guilt. This is not me at all. He wouldn't even fight back. I am so screwed. I thought I would get satisfaction, but there is nothing but emptiness. Would say super stupid. I really regret it. I dropped to their level. If I could take it back, I would. The only thing I could hope for is he not do anything about it. I have had so much stress I could not stop. I need to get away from stress. I spent 2 days in the critical care unit because of an hypertension emergency, or malignant hypertension, and a cardiologist called it, because of my blood pressure. I want to file for full custody, and I am afraid I screwed it up. It sucks that I don't drink because I could use a stiff one about now. I really need someone close to talk to, but all of our friends are mutual. To be honest, I am afraid to be alone. I have 2 small fractures in my fingers. It felt like one of those cartoons where it swells up like and throbs like a balloon. I probably came out worse physically. I don't know how he turned out because I just turned and walked away, trying not to show how much pain my hand was in. It was a juvenile thing to do. I would not suggest doing it. He did fall over, but physically I bet I hurt more today than him. Maybe, just maybe, it will give him pause before he messes around with a married woman again. I did not think, I just reacted. I pulled up to get some gas, and there he was talking to 2 ladies and a guy. It was over in a second. God, I need a long vacation from all this stress. I still expect some sort of repercussions of some type. One thing that bothers me is that I was wishing I had a roll of quarters. That is not who I was. I will never be the same laid-back person that I was before my life turned into this big stinking pile of smelly stuff. I have been thinking, and I am not mad at myself anymore. I just hate that I lost control on myself so fast. I had to miss work today because I still have to keep my hand elevated. The stuff you see in the movies is total BS. My wife has been acting sheepish, and the stupid arrogance is gone for now. I think it scared her. She was told by one of the ladies that saw, she says, I guess I put everything I had in it and left nothing on the table. I am having to wear a removable hand, fingers cast thingy. This episode has cost me over $200 in deductibles so far. I am starting to regret it less now. He didn't show up for work today. Feels good to vent. Thanks, guys and ladies. Back to the other story though. OM has an orbital fracture and broke cheekbone. That's why it hurt me so much. I was aiming for the jaw. I wanted to break it. He has not been to work yet. I also heard he is telling some people he got hit by a baseball. His brother texted me telling me it was a cheap shot. I have a bad feeling it may get ugly quick. I didn't think it was a cheap shot at all. He saw me at least 40 or 50 feet away as I walked toward him. What did he think I was doing? Coming over to give him a hug or something? He is not going to say anything to cause trouble. The scumbag did call my wife to tell her to stay far away from him. It is far too late for us to fix anything. I had already lost all respect for her. At this moment in time, it is a marriage of convenience. I have already told her I was not leaving my house, and if she didn't want to be around me, to get out right now. When everything I squared away and I can get my own insurance, I am filing. which may be a while since I can't afford my own policy right now because after much research a policy like I need with affordable premiums right now would cost me at least $30,000 out of pocket every year. I am going to try to let it blow over for now. My wife likes 13 months before she is fully vested into her 30-year pension retirement account. In my state I will get half. That will be a large amount. She doesn't know it yet. Now that will hurt her where it counts the most. She has always talked about how much she will have and expects to have it easy. I loathe her now so much it hurts, but she left me no choice. She is going to lose her dream mini farm. The house is ours, but most of the acreage belongs to my family. She will have nowhere to keep her horses and her 22-year hobby of love comes to a stop. Sorry if I seem to be rambling from one thing to another, but when my so-called perfect world came apart at the seams, my mind is all over the place. I think I need a vacation out west to a rabbit ranch, or some call it the bunny ranch, and relieve some stress, or even having a few beers with someone that has been through this stuff. This day-to-day roller coaster is starting to get old. Well, it is not even a roller coaster because at least they go up sometimes, and mine always seems going down. I am not worried one tiny bit about any of his people. I truly believe he deserved what he had coming. I know he deserved it, but that is not the type of person I am. Anyway, I have ICC and have a permit. I have been a volunteer instructor at the local club for 17 years. I back down from no one. The main thing I worry about is a civil suit. There are some idiots out there that thinks his feelings would feel better if he got some cash. I know it probably won't happen, but lately I have been looking at the glass half empty. My piece of crap wife doesn't say a word about it. I am just going to try to forget it myself. As far as her being a horsey person, it took me years just to get her to ride with me. We used to go all over the place until fences started popping up everywhere. Now to get a good long ride and I have to load them up and go to the state park. But that is over for her. She gets all pouty now because I will load up and go by myself without asking her. I think that is the only real thing I can use to get back at her. After she is gone, that may be a good way to meet lady friends. He texted her. I still monitor. As far as I know, it was first text in a while. I am sorry to jump from one thing to another, but my brain is just a rambling jumble of thoughts and I usually just post what's on my mind at that moment. My blood pressure is good today. It is hit or miss with meds. Stress can play a factor in it too. Earlier this year I was in the hospital because my pressure was too low. I have had high blood pressure since 1995 but no real problems until this year. Okay, to change the subject, one night a couple of months ago I did something really stupid. While drinking, I don't hardly ever drink, I was feeling really down and alone and texted OM and told him to stay away or I would break his teeth every time I saw him. That is why I worry about being in trouble if he saved the text. Not smart, I know, but I am not real rational right now. Too much on my mind. I am a lefty and my doctor told me if I ever want to hit anybody again, stay away from the face or head because facial bones are stronger than fingers. He said lower ribs are a much better target. Go figure. That day was a combination of everything going wrong. I had just left the store. I hate to be at Walmart and some jerk tore the crap out of my truck. As soon as I left, my low fuel dinger thingy started going off. I pulled into a gas station and there he was. I just walked over and put everything I had into saying hello to him. It still hurts even with the good stuff pain meds. In the movies they make it look so easy. Now I know that is BS. So now movies are ruined for me. After I get rid of this parasite, I am done with any relationships forever. I cannot go through this ever again. I am done forever. At least when you are lonely you can't get screwed over. I was true to my word for over 25 years and got screwed. At least being alone I can't get the shaft again. Sorry to be so down, but it has been a bad year. For over 25 years, not counting dating times, she was perfect to me. Everything in my life was great. She is mother of my children by choice. She would do anything for me and I would do the same for her. I bought her flowers and gifts for no reason and she would do great things for me. She even surprised me with tickets to the Daytona 500. Then one day out of the blue a switch flipped and nothing I did was right. She started complaining about everything that was perfect before. Kitchen counters became too small. I didn't make enough money so I took on side work and doubled income, but she still complained. She wanted a new car and I bought her the one she picked out. But it was not good enough. No matter what you do, life still sucks. The kids know nothing. I told them I closed the car door on my fingers. To this day it bothers me. I told them a fib about my hand. But now them having a normal life is the number one thing. To be honest, they are the reason I am still here. Within last 2 weeks I had PET and CT scans done and tumor has gotten smaller from last round of treatments. Oncologist said it is operable now. The doctor is going to schedule a lob. I have nothing to lose. It will probably be a few weeks. I absolutely hate being in the hospital. They have worked with my insurance company before. The doctor's assistant told me it is just a lot of paperwork and haggling back and forth. I have not told a lot of people about it. I have not even told my mother because ever since my dad and little brother passed several years ago, she is worried about any little thing and she would go nuts. I had skin cancer on my arm a while back and she cried for 2 days. I have seen what happens when somebody in her family has a health crisis, and they would be here camping out at our houses for the foreseeable future. I don't think I could take the drama without hurting someone's feelings. There would be little old ladies everywhere trying to cook, clean, and things like that. I don't want them to think I am mean or anything, but I just want some peace and quiet at this time. If things go well, I will only stay 3 days in the hospital, but because I am from out of town, I will stay at a hotel close by for 3 or 4 more days. I feel happy and scared at the same time, and that is a weird feeling. I know this sounds off the wall, but I almost got busted by my mother, who is 71 years old. She knows nothing about my health problems. I keep it hidden from her because she would go crazy. She has a problem of taking any stress. My father passed 9 years ago of a heart attack while out of town, and my little brother committed suicide 4 years later when she was out of town. I am 50 years old, but she is so worried about anything happening to me or my older brother. I do not want to seem callous, and it bothers me to keep her in the dark, but when my brother had to have a stent 3 years ago, she flew in and stayed with him for 2 months. I love my mother with all my heart, but I don't want her here for hovering over me for 2 months. Well, the things at home are okay. I had reached a point that I really did not care anymore. To me, that is power over the hopelessness I felt last year. My wife had started some counseling without my knowledge in Feb. These last few weeks she has tried to act like the good wife, but deep down inside I still don't trust her motives. She has cried and said she was scared about the future and all that crap, and he was a shoulder to cry on, and he took advantage of the situation. I have a hard time believing what she says. I know for sure the person that cares the least has the most power. I almost pity her now, but sometime in the future I am going to say bye-bye. The OM has been gone for a while now. I am not sure exactly how long it had gone on. The extent of what she had done is up in the air. On a couple of the recordings I have listened to, she was talking to her sister, and she told her sister she had fooled around with him but had not gone all the way. She said they would be crossing the line. I don't know if Weightlifter heard that part, but I sent him some of the recordings. Even if that is true, just telling him personal things ripped me apart. How would anybody feel to learn that your young teenage daughter wanted a belly button ring was to listen to your wife tell another man about it before you heard anything about it? By the way, the day after I heard that, I casually asked my daughter about it, and when she told me she didn't think I would allow it, I took her and let her get one. Score for me in the cool dad department. To me, the worst thing is when I need strong support. She was not there for me. I could forgive a one-night encounter, but the emotional part almost ruined me. I mean, I stopped all doctor visits and tests for 5 months, wanting to leave the world. As far as the OM goes, he is gone. He is 3 states over. He was there as a contractor for a 2-year contract. After word of what was going on made it way upstairs, he was transferred. I hated for his wife because she was a nice lady. We had a long conversation. I heard the conversation where he told my wife I had contacted her. One thing to anyone that wants to bust the OM upside the head for vengeance: it does not work out like you see on TV. I posted earlier about what happened, but what I heard then from someone was false. I saw him one day and hit him. I was told he had eye socket fracture, but he did not have one. I think she wanted me to think he was really hurt so I would leave him alone. Physically I lost that one, but to me I scored a mental win. The kids were at the hospital. She stayed there most of the time trying to be the good wife now. I think it was funny about the office gossip. That was not me, but I planted the seed. I had sent them an email they thought was from the city manager and another one with just a few details to the office gossip girl. I have the software to create email clients. I can send anyone an email and the return address can be anybody I want. If I sent him an email from his wife and her replies to it, it would go straight to his wife. I know I am far from a perfect husband, and these last few years I treated her like a wife and mother and not like a real lady. Still no excuse for what she did. It is still hard to believe someone so smart can do something so stupid. Her sister told me a while back that she called her late one night because she was thinking about. She denied saying it when I asked her about it. She is acting like she used to know that she is getting help with her depression that she has denied having for a few years. She is also acting kind of weird. Just last week she mentioned it would be good for us to buy a fishing boat so I could take my son fishing. Once they removed the tube, it was a real load off. I still have the good meds, but I am taking much less now. About 2 more weeks and I should be off them. I am also driving now and I don't feel helpless and stuck at home. I went for a 5-hour car ride last Friday. My daughter's team made state and they finished second. I think she is truly regretting what she has done, but nothing is ever 100% guaranteed. It may just be my thinking, but she was different from any other people I knew. By the time she was 13, she had lived in 7 different countries. Her dad was an Air Force officer. Right after her dad retired and moved to my town, a friend of mine was dating her older sister. I saw her sometimes, but she was almost 4 years younger than me. Her sister had told me she had a crush on me and I shrugged it off for about 4 years. After she graduated from high school, she called me up and asked me out. I had just broken up with my long-term, 2 years, girlfriend. We went out and a few months later became a couple. 1 year later we were married. She was great and put up with a lot because I had a child with my old GF. Everything seemed great for the next 23 years. When the trust was broken, it was shattered. I told her I can't think about doing a full R anytime soon. I am still too mad and hurt to make any decisions. I told her I was going to work on me fixing myself for a while. She said she was patient, but I still don't have faith. I have just had too much happen the last year and a half to trust making a decision. One of the sticking points that keeps me from leaving now besides insurance is retirement. I have checked on health ins on the marketplace and now they have to take pre-existing conditions, but the coverage is astronomical compared to almost free right now. The other is retirement. I have already talked to a lawyer a few times to make sure I do it right. She has a real pension plan where she works and it will be almost 2 more years before she is fully vested. My state is a no-fault and a 50-50 split on everything including retirement. If I can wait it would be over $700 a month more on my half. The bad thing is I can't draw until she retires. I know it may sound greedy, but $700 a month is a house payment. I know she really did me wrong, but stringing her along for that long just for money. It may also be difficult to hold my anger for that long and fold like a wimp. Just a health update. I had my checkup the other day and the doctor said all clear. It is hard to believe the difference a year makes. Last year I was told I had stage 4 cancer because of lung cancer spot and 2 other tumors in my abdomen. It took a while to find out everything because at the same time I found out my wife was cheating. I quit going to doctor because of my depression and anger. After I started going back and had all biopsied, I found out I had cancer in my lung, but the other 2 were tumors. What a difference a year makes. Last year I thought I was going to leave the world and I didn't care, but now I have a different outlook. I don't think I will ever know everything, nor do I want to. As far as they went, who knows? In one of the recordings, she was talking to her sister about an evil cheating sister, and she said they hadn't had slept together because the OM didn't want to cross that line with his wife. He was okay with what they had going on, but she was ready to go when he was. That is enough for me. I really think I could recover from a one-night thing better than hearing her diss me and the emotional connection they had. Ask Weightlifter, he heard a few. They would just talk on and on about everything, not much dirty talk. Hearing her put me down was the reason I lost any respect for her. She thinks we are going to be okay. She even put a deposit on a cruise next February. I'm doing okay these days. I had a friend give me some of his air miles and I took a vacation just by myself. I went to Chicago to visit a friend I grew up with and stayed a couple of nights at the hotel. After that I did something I had always wanted to do and went to the Sequoia Forest and rented a small RV for 3 days. I wish I had a lot more time to stay there. Health-wise I am still doing good too. I am still planning on leaving her in the future because I don't think I can ever have the trust again. Without trust you have nothing. 2 years later, I am doing okay now. Health-wise I am still doing good too. I have had a few bumps in the road but nothing I couldn't handle. The OM is long gone. His wife divorced him and he moved back home halfway across the country to live with his ailing father. Things at home are okay too. I am still biding my time, but every once in a while, I feel a crack in my armor. I also took up an old hobby and restored a car I had always wanted and have already placed second in a car show. I am not sure how I could have made it this far without this place. My comment looks like OP kept his wife around for the kids. He doesn't have any emotional connection with her except using her as a caretaker, and his health is turning to a positive side. Did you like the ending of this story? Comment down and I got another Love TV tomorrow morning.